Hello YouTube viewers, my name is Sancho and welcome back to my tutorial series on making Pokemon games. I've been wanting to do this for a while but haven't gotten around to it because I've been really busy. So in this episode we're going to be making, or I'm going to show you how to make maps. Some techniques on mapping, how to make good maps and stuff like that. So as you can see by this town here, this is on the first town. This is the first town from the Fire Red and Leaf Green, obviously. And as you can see by the shape, it's kind of square, kind of rectangular. Well, we don't want that. You don't want to make a perfect square like this or a perfect rectangle. Let's just see. Let me just try to find. Yeah, not like this either. It's kind of different, but not really. Okay, it doesn't have that much stuff I can work with here. So basically you just don't want to do this. In a couple of fan games I see, they make towns like this and there's not much creativity to it, nothing really special about it. There's just two houses, the one lab, and then the places to the routes. Nothing really that special. So we are going to make a map. So what you have to do to make a new map is right click on any type of map. I usually just do it on the folder, make a new map, and this is the tile sets that you choose. Now the cool thing about it is that you could choose which tile set you want. You can import tile sets, which I'll show you how to do that later in this episode. And I'm just going to do outside. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it what should I name it? Relic Town. Alright. And then the width and the height obviously makes the map bigger. So I'm just going to do 45. The dimensions don't have to be perfect unless you're trying to make a bigger map. So let me just 30. This when you go into this map, it'll automatically change the music. So if you wanted to do that, you have to click on the music that you want, and then there you go. But we don't want that, not just yet. I don't usually use this, but you can fiddle around with that. So this is going to be our map. Now you see these layers up here. This is what you're going to be using to put the tiles on. These are all the tiles. And now you see this pink, and then you see this pink right here. This is the transparency color. Sometimes it changes when you import it a couple of times. And then I'm just going to show you how to make those transparent. So what I'm going to do is, well, I'm just going to tell you about these tools first. So the pencil tool is just a 1. Unless you select this, it does that. The rectangle tool makes it so that you can control what you're clicking on, where you place things. The circle tool also does that, just makes a big circle. It's kind of cool with the making islands and stuff. And the fill tool just makes it all go in, so you don't have to do much with it. So I'm just going to show you how the transparency works. So the transparency tool, the transparency on the tile, when you put it on the first layer, that mess happens. It's just not, it doesn't show, it just shows the pink. But when you put it on the second or third layer, it's the transparency color is off. So keep that in mind when you're making maps. You just put the transparency on those layers. Also with trees mainly, but sometimes you can have these types of trees where you can put them on the first layer, and these are kind of helpful too. Sorry. So I'm just gonna show you some techniques with the trees. It helps the shape and make it a little stand out, the town stand out. So what I usually do is I use the rectangular tool and then do that, but sometimes it can't do that, so I'm just gonna have to, yeah, there we go. Now some games I see have just the one tree layer, and then there's this thing where you see blackness in the edge, so we're not gonna have that happen. So I usually just put it at 3, sometimes 4, depending on how far you can see it. I'm just gonna put up the height a little bit, maybe the width too. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. And then, no, I said fill tool. There we go. And then I can. Alright, I forgot to mention this select tool. So you can select anything. You can hold it down to do that. And then you can right click, cut, copy. You can paste, clear, or select all of the map. I'm just going to copy that. And then you can paste it, move it around, and it'll always go up in this corner over here. So, there you go. I'm just going to copy all this over to the other side. Now you have the 2 sides done. Now we have to do the top, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. Let's see here. There we go. Ah, crap. Okay. So there's this weird thing. Sometimes if you want to have the trees fit into that space, you're gonna have to move it once over, and then just select everything here, move it over, then you can have your tree right there. It's kind of a pain, but once you figure out how to make maps, it'll be easier on you. So I'm just gonna do this real quick. Will that work? I think that'll work. Alright, so you have this and to work with. Now what I usually do is I do this. I put some trees down like this, and then do that with the other side. I try to make it symmetrical. Some people don't like that, others do. I'm like, that's cool. But you could do whatever basically you can do whatever you want with your Pokemon game. It doesn't really matter unless you make a bad map, which it depends on if the player wants to play the game or not. So let's just try to make it better. And then I'm going to try doing this. Where's this going to open up? I guess there? Maybe. No, I just did it in the same place. There we go. Now this is where your route's going to open up, so I'm just going to go, let's use this one. Or you could do it like this. I'm just gonna have it do it. No. Sometimes it could be a little finicky with the stuff, so. I'm just gonna show you something else about mapping. Hills. When you add hills, it adds more depth to the map, so I'm just gonna add a little hill right here. You can have the hill going like this, as long as it doesn't have, you have the trees on top, and then you have something like this going like that. As long as it doesn't mess up the trees, you can do that. But for this tutorial, I'm just gonna, there we go. I'm just gonna be showing you how to do this. Yeah, I got that lined up well. No. There you go. Oh yeah, when you're doing this, you can also right click to get rid of that. Another trick I usually use when doing these hills, and if I have stuff like this, that looks kind of messy. I don't want that. So what I usually do is I usually do this one or this one, and then do that. There, it makes it a little nicer that way. I'm just gonna fix the trees real quick. Yeah, and sometimes people want to make their sometimes people don't want this kind of style, the fire red and leaf green style, because it's just given to you, and that's kind of lazy in my opinion. But you can change it if you want. You can alter it and it'll look nice. Like this one ROM hack that I saw, shiny gold. It changes this a little bit, but it still looked a little bit the same. Alright, I'm just gonna, and then there's the, if you want to go up, there's these steps here. I'm just gonna use this one. Let's just do that, and then you're able to walk on there. So let me just fix this up real quick. I'm sorry if this is going to be a little bit longer episode than I usually do, but just bear with me. This takes time and effort to make maps. So let's just do this. So I usually, if you want something behind this, I usually do it on layer 2 or layer 1, and then I put the tops of the trees over on layer 3. That's what I usually do anyway. There, it looks a little better now. It looks like a little fighting area. Just try this. You can also do this. It won't change that much. There we go. Yeah, and the rectangular tool really helps. It really does when you're trying to make maps. But you just can't click it once because it'll get that one half unless you just do that one thing. Yeah, but if you want to make your own tiles, but you don't know how to do pixel art, I guess you would have to go on places like DeviantArt or look it up on Google Images and look for tile sets there and try to do. I'll show you how to make the tile sets, but just as a warning, if you don't know how to do pixel art, then you'll have to give credit to the people who made the graphics for you. But you could have beautiful tiles, like any tiles that you have, but you have to make the mapping good, or else it'll look just crap. So this already looks a little better than anything else. What I'm gonna do is, you know what? Let's just make the trail to where some of the stuff goes, and then where would I want to put the houses? Yeah, just make sure you don't mess up the curves, or else something like this would happen. You can see that, and I don't want that. And sometimes it's hard for me to teach because I usually just go by instinct when I'm learning things. So sorry if this is kind of lacking in what's the word I'm looking for? Creativity, I guess you could say. Let me just try this. Where's the darn thing? There we go. And I usually do this just so it can look like it's going under this. Where do I want to put the houses now? I guess I'll just use these houses. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to say. Don't put a house like this and then a house like this in the same town, or else it's just gonna look weird. A lot of people, when they're making Pokemon games, don't realize this. It's just kind of jarring, but it's like that in real life. It's just in Pokemon games, it just doesn't look that great. You can have like houses with a change of the roof or something that doesn't look that jarring when you look at it. Oh yeah, and another thing. When you're placing houses over trees, let me just show you an example of this. I'm just gonna get a couple trees right here. And then a house. Don't do it like that. Don't just cover the trees like that. It's better with this, or even this. Just make sure you're not going over layers. It doesn't look too crappy, I should say. I don't want to say jarring too much because it's just going to be repetitive, and I don't like repetitiveness. But sometimes it's just gotta, that's the way it's gotta be. Other times you can't make it do that. I'm just gonna get this, unless there's, there we go. Let's use this one. Where should I put this? I guess I'll just put it over here. And I'll show you how to import the tilesets later. You guys could just skip through the video if you want to see how I import them. It's not too hard. They can get pretty repetitive when you're trying to do something. No, I don't want that. I want to do this. I might want to move that over one. Oh yeah, when you're selecting a tool, it does this with the layers. It makes them all weird and messed up. There we go, that looks a little better. Now what if we, oh yeah, I forgot to delete this. Okay. As you can see, it's looking a little nicer, but there's not that much going on right now. But I'm gonna change that in a moment. No, not that. No. There we go. Alright, I'll show you. So you can add bushes or anything of that nature to the town to make it look not as barren, or you can add puddles or lakes. I usually like to do put lakes in here. Let's just, yeah, okay. And this map might look a little crappy, but I hope you guys are getting the idea. Like that. No, the other one. There we go. Where's that? There we go. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm kind of tired, but enthusiastic at the same time, so it's kind of weird that in that sense. No, not that. What are you doing? This is going to be a problem. You see that? Unless you do this. looks a little nicer. Yeah, that will work. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, what else would I want to put in? Or should I test out the town right now? I don't know. Well, that's gonna be a problem too. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna do this. And then sorry if it's a little quiet, just trying to get everything done here. Make it look nice. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, in the next episode, I'm just teasing this episode a little bit, but in the next episode, I'm thinking that I will be doing route mapping. If this episode is going on for too long. If not, then I will do some route mapping real quick. There's no guarantees though. But if I get to route mapping in this, then I will try some. Alright. I'll do something else. Ooh, okay. Okay, no, I don't want that. Let's try this. There we go. I don't know why it's sunny out, but let me just... where's the metadata option? Pretty sure there's a metadata option somewhere. There it is. Here, outdoors, yes. Sorry, yes. I have no idea why it's going. It's sunny. There you go. Weather, no weather. Okay, let's just try that. Yeah, when you go in the game, you can have a debug option where you can do all this stuff. Refresh the map. Yeah, I have no idea why it's doing that. See, yeah, this is what I was talking about. This right here. Now, I will show you in another episode how to do map connections, which basically has one map connected to the other, which gets rid of this. So, yeah, that's what I'm planning on wanting to do anyway. So, already this town looks a little barren. There's not much trees around, but from here, it looks nice. It looks a lot nicer. I'm just gonna do some stuff right here. Make it not as barren. Can I? Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, that's how I want to do that, I guess. And it's nice to have some open space too, but not too much open space like this. It's kind of weird that way. And not too much trees like this, but sometimes it could be better that way. What should I do next? Oh yeah, you can have some things like this, where you can have an item back here. I'll show you how to do inventing later. That. Yeah, just to wrap everything up, it's good to have a custom tile set and not just this, or else uh, let's say 8 times out of 10 they're not gonna play it. So I didn't want to say 9 times, but you get the I think you get the point, guys. Yeah, this is already looking better. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna show you how to do import tile sets real quick. So you see this materials thing, you go in here and then you'll go down and then you'll see tile sets. Now this is where all the tile sets go. You import, you can click on something and export it, you can preview it and see how it looks. You can also delete one. I'm not going to do that right now. You see this. Okay, what you do is, if you want to import a tile set, you go to import. This is stuff, I don't want to show you that stuff. And then you just go and you click on a tile set. I'm just gonna. Well, you could do this. You can import this for anything, but if it's already if something's already transparent, it's just gonna go right to the materials thing. I'll show you. So you see this. You click. Okay, so the transparent color you want, you click on that. This is semi-transparent. If you want something to be semi-transparent, like shadows, I'll show you how to do make a character set, which I like to call it later. But if you don't want something semi-transparent or transparent, you just press clear and it's just black. And then you just press OK. You can view it like that. If it's too big or too small, you can do this. But yeah, that's how you do that. That's basically how you do mapping in, let's see, 27 minutes. This is going on a lot longer than I thought it would. But, you know what? I'm just going to do a route thing for a second. Alright, I'm just going to do route 34. Why not? Just going to make it like that. Make it like this. So, I'm just going to explain some things real quick. So, for generation style games, my game that I'm making is Gen 5, and for Gen 5, you have to make your maps a little bigger than, let's say this, or this. I mean, this would be fine. For a first route, this would be fine. Let's see. What, route 3. Yeah, this would be a good route for route 3. For a Generation 5 style game. For a Generation 4 style game, anything is fine as long as you don't make something too small or too big. Let's see. Generation 3 sound. This is how it mainly goes. You have your one route like this, and then you make your other routes a little bigger. Maybe connecting a cave or a forest or something. I'll show you how to do that later with eventing. But and then you have to make stuff a lot bigger for Gen 5. Gen 4, I think you have to make stuff a little bigger, but not too much. Like here, I'll show you. Let me just go to my sprites. I'm just going to show you an example of a Gen 5 style tile set. So this is Gen 5 style tile set. Already, everything looks a lot bigger. The doors look a lot bigger, the houses look a lot bigger, the trees look a lot bigger, definitely. But everything is just bigger. And that's what you have to do. For Gen 4, I'm trying to figure out... Where did I don't know... See, this looks a little bigger. Everything looks a little bigger, but not by too much. This is actually the tile set that my little brother is using to make his game. He's making a Gen 4 style game, which kudos to him. I've been teaching him how I do things, how I map and stuff. And yeah, let me just go back here. I'm just going to show you some examples with this. So you don't want to make something too blocky, and like the towns. This goes for routes too. Like this, I guess it's passable. You just have to make it a little different with the shaping and geometry of it. But this is really good. I mean, for first time making maps, this is really good. Reminds me of playing Diamond and Pearl, actually, with the routes being like this. And this is a map made for a replica for Route 2 of for gold, silver, and crystal, heart gold, and silver. And this looks really nice, actually. And yeah, how much time is it? 32 minutes. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, take my pointers with a grain of salt, because there's got to be a lot more stuff, and a lot more stuff coming your way. I don't know how long this tutorial series is going to be going, but I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial series, and I will see you in the next part. PIKA POW.